injury, Sean Marion. Number 4, J.J. Reddick. Number 5, Kirk Heinrich. Number 7, Darren Williams. Number 8, Kevin Durant. Number 10, Kobe Bryant. Number 12, Amari Stoudemire. Number 14, Tyson Chandler. And number 15, Carmelo Anthony. Now, let's meet the other members of the USA men's senior national team. The athletic trainer is Casey Smith. The head coach of USA basketball men's senior national team, Mr. Mike Krzyzewski. Coaching today will be Nate McMillan. Not playing due to injury, Chris Paul. Number 4, Chauncey Phillips. Number 5, Jason Kidd. Number 6, LeBron James. Number 8, Shane Battier. Number 9, Tayshaun Prince. Number 10, Michael Redd. Number 11, Chris Bosh. Number 12, Dwight Howard. Number 13, Mike Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the members of the USA basketball men's senior national team
we have with us in Las Vegas. So stay with us. We'll come right back. This is Dreamland. You're into hoops. You love it like we do. It is going to be some kind of show today at Thomas and Mack. Stick around. Starting lineups are coming up next. The 2007 State Farm USA Basketball Challenge is brought to you by State Farm. Great service, great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And by GM, official ride of USA Basketball. We've got 8 on one side, 9 on the other. As you saw, as they introduced all 20 players, 17 available, including that young man. And he was not there, as I mentioned at the top of the telecast last year, because of knee surgery during the offseason. But boy, is he looking forward to Beijing in 2008. LeBron James coming off his first NBA Finals appearance. Has he ever grown physically, mentally? You can see, especially from a physical standpoint there. Kobe Bryant leading the way for USA Blue. Well, what a backcourt. Darren Williams, Kirk Heinrich, 2 of the best young guards in the NBA. And down to the baseline, Carmelo Anthony in the swing. And Amari Stoudemire in the middle from the Phoenix Suns. A little run and gun. Mike D'Antoni's coaching that side. They may want to push it.
Well, all of these players will be happy to see D'Antoni over there because you know what he's saying? A shot every 3-4 seconds, I'll be happy with that.
Right, first good look, take it. Starting lineup brought to you by State Farm. For the white side, LeBron James, flanked by Chris Bosh and Dwight Howard, some muscle down low there. And Jason Kidd, who's always made everybody around him look exceptional, with Mike Miller. And Mike Miller, the last guy to lead practice yesterday, one of the best strokes. A guy that has really grown over the last 3-4 years, and Nate McMillan's going to be coaching that side. But Mike Miller, boy, there's a stroke they can use.
Well, you know, we've always talked about the USA teams lacking perimeter shooters. Well, these guys that they have in this particular process, they have plenty of guys that can make shots from the outside. Where they've had their greatest difficulty is whenever the opponent has thrown a zone at them. They haven't shot the ball well, nor have they read it well. They are practicing against the zone every time they get together, so they'll be more comfortable with it. And this is a very competitive group. I think the one thing that we'll see is the competitive nature of these players come out. This isn't just a practice. This is a practice about who's better than who and how I lift you up in practice as we get ready for this tournament.
Dwight Howard jumping along with Amari Stoudemire. It's controlled by the white, but you bring up a valid point. There's motivation, the pride factor that you just alluded to. Jason Kidd. Mike Miller trying to board inside. And save, no, it's out of bounds. Our three officials, Tommy Nunez from the NBA, a couple of college officials, but all three of these officials are sanctioned by FIBA. So they'll also be here next month in August. Tommy Nunez, familiar face, his dad, longtime NBA official, working along with Terry Moore and J.D. Collins.
Right, but they will also get adjusted to international officiating, which is totally different than what they see during the regular season in the NBA. So, you know, all of the time that the USA has put very good, outstanding all-star teams together, like the Say Dream teams, they haven't had all of the components to practice together all of the time. They haven't had enough time sometimes to adjust to the officiating.
They're going to reset the shot clock because they had put it all the way back at 24, but 12 remaining for the White. Almost a takeaway. We watched the scrimmage yesterday but this is the big one, the full practice and scrimmage, as it's an air ball from LeBron inside, offhand. Bosch can't get the finish. And on the run, Kirk Heinrich. The lob down low and an early dunk for Amari Stoudemire. As I mentioned, Dreamland, all-stars out there, guys that have won NBA rings. But there's only one out there with a gold medal, Mike Miller. I pump him up, he's a little flat. And Chris Bosch cleans it up underneath. Court not as long in FIBA competition. Kobe, early offense for the Blue.
You know, I'm still trying to understand where those 2 feet went, because it's 94 by 50 in the NCAA and the NBA, and it's 91 by 49 and some change in international play. Howard
muscling his way home, and they're going to say it was a walk before he was fouled in the act of shooting. And the lob for the previous possession.
Well, you know, the one thing that they want to do is play quickly, and when they can get Amari Stoudemire in transition, good things happen for him and Kirk Heinrich, and they'll be looking to make those kind of connections when the tournament actually gets underway in about 2 weeks.
Carmelo Anthony with a good look. They came out a little bit late. And the Blue early and hot at 6-2. A little give and go action after he set the pick. Miller, good look. LeBron James. And he lost the handle on the way up. Well, the presence of Amari Stoudemire had something to do with that. Heinrich, long deuce. And across it goes to Chris Bosch. Fast and furious, Kobe popped it away from LeBron James. Another turnover. Well,
LeBron has had a rough start. An air ball on a jump shot, a layup, and now he turns it over. But again, this tells us about just how competitive these guys are. Kobe with the miss.
And Kobe in a Laker town. Las Vegas, a long time a Laker town.
You moved L.A. over to Vegas?
It's part of the territory, partner. Mike Miller draws the contact and the foul from Kirk Heinrich.
That's like you annexed Hawaii as well. Part of the Laker territory, right?
It's been a quiet summer for Kobe, hasn't it? Kobe looking forward because he was not available last summer for the championships in Japan. But it's all about Team USA for him now. And he's lighter by almost 20 pounds in camp.
Already?
Well, he'll put some back on maybe before October. Mike Miller, 0 for 2 inside position. And Dwight Howard elevates just a little for the dunk.
Well, I think the thing that Dwight Howard gives them is a power player inside. The guy that can rebound the ball, that can block shots, and that can dunk shots. And you have to put a body on him. If you don't, the results are pretty easy for Dwight Howard.
The solid work before the shot ever went up for Dwight Howard. 4th year out of Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. His sophomore season in high school, he won a state title with the Lakers' first-round pick, Javaris Crittenton, and they were running the triangle at the time in high school. He gets the three-point play.
I think this is going to be dominated by Laker today.
Kobe Bryant off the glass, picked up by Jason Kidd. Kidd must love this. What a look for LeBron James! One of the great guards in NBA history, Jason Kidd. Only a couple of guys have more triple-doubles than him. Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson. Fast company.
Well, it's very fast company, and what he is coming off his best season in since 2001 and 2 when they went to the championship round, and Kidd was the talk of the NBA guard play, and it's been taken over by Steve Nash. But what he does is find the open man, an easy play for him to make.
He has always made his teammates look better. One of the great assist men in NBA history. And a lot of guys can thank him for some very healthy contracts.
Well, they can. The one thing that he's done for this USA team is amp up the energy and the attitude in practice. They play real hard. They're very competitive, and Jason Kidd is one of the main reasons.
And when you talk to these players, they all agree, I've never played with a guy like Jason Kidd. The court vision, the awareness, long before the pass ever gets there. It'll be plucked out of the air by Bosch. Well, an observation for Mike Krzyzewski. And we talked about it. Finding the right combinations, rotations, chemistry. Bosch, will he get it? He does! Spectacular play. Fouled by Kobe. Chris Bosch stayed with him.
Well, they're trying to have the no layup rule here, but Bosch used some of that long length that he has to stay in the air and make this play happen. And again, you talk about how good USA basketball is going to be for years to come when you look at how young Bosch is, Darren Williams, Amari Stoudemire. You can go down the line. This is a very young group, and so they'll have them available for many years to come. Chris Paul isn't playing. Wade is not playing.
Well, Chris Bosch is 23. Darren Williams is 23. Kirk Heinrich just turned 26. Carmelo turns 23. Second to last day of December. You're right. And it's going to be a double dribble. He actually palmed the basketball because he wanted to use Kobe as a decoy a little bit too much. So Darren Williams gives it back to Jason Kidd and the white squad. 9-6 wide early.
But you watch ball pressure and you see how they're very active and competitive and trying to get the ball from moving from spot to spot. An easy miss for Bosch that time inside.
And again, Jason Kidd should have had another assist. What a lead by Jason Kidd. Would he be fun to watch on a regular basis? And I'm not talking about the league pass. It stays out for Carmelo Anthony.
You had your chance.
You're right. LeBron slams it home. Just find him on the run. So he lost it on the first try around the rim. Not that time. Amari with the left hand. Darren Williams with a nifty inside look to him.
I think one of the things that they're trying to do, and they carry it forward into the tournament, is to play quicker. Not allow the opponent to get a chance to dig in defensively. They've got enough people that can pass it, that can cut, that can shoot it, to where they should have easy scoring opportunities for everybody that plays.
LeBron James starting to heat it up. Bosch denies Anthony. It's right now a 12-2 run for the white team. Leaves it off for James on the fall away. Kidd wanted another assist.
Now, James wanted that one, but his body was going too far to the right. He couldn't control himself.
Quick first step. Carmelo Anthony on the finish. Good for Mike Miller on a play like that.
Mike Miller said, come back down here and guard me. Okay, no, I can't guard you inside, but come out here. And they just happen to be matched up, so we'll find out whether Mike Miller gets a chance to get even.
LeBron, step back. Tyson Chandler in the game now. So LeBron James continues that role for the white team.
Well, this summer has also given LeBron James a chance to work on his perimeter game. You know, it failed him in the finals, but he looks like he's been working on it, and his shot's a lot better, a lot smoother right now.
The no look. James wanted to go back that way. He'll stay with the three, though, and won't get the roll as Chandler clears it out. One of the leading rebounders in the league last year, Tyson Chandler. On the run, Kobe. And Stoudemire thought he was going to go up. Instead, he'll take the two-hander. So they are definitely sharing the basketball.
Well, I mean, I think that they all understand that. And this is not a team of selfish players. They all want to see each other excel. And they look like they want a timeout because they've been going pretty quick. They're all standing now.
And Nate McMillan signaled for the timeout. Didn't get it. Chris Bosch, he's got some range. Can he fill it up from three? Follow a little long. And Jason Kidd saw that all the way. Behind the back, LeBron James. How much fun is it to watch Jason Kidd on the floor with LeBron James? James 5 of 9 with 11 already. And I think they need a timeout.
Well, and the fact that Amari Stoudemire thought he was going to be able to get that ball away from Jason Kidd, but this is a previous exchange between Jason Kidd and LeBron James with authority. And whenever he gets this kind of lane, bad things are going to happen to the opposition. LeBron is having a lot of fun this afternoon.
It may be the middle of summer, but it's on fire right now indoors in Las Vegas. White and LeBron James on top by a half dozen. 6-point lead early. Jason Kidd, LeBron James collaborating for some sensational plays. But in response to stories that the FBI is investigating an NBA referee who allegedly bet on games, NBA Commissioner David Stern issued the following statement. And this is quoting now David Stern. As previously stated, we've been cooperating with the FBI in their investigation of allegations that a single NBA referee bet on NBA games that he officiated. As part of that cooperation, we were asked by the government not to comment about the investigation, but in light of the widespread press coverage and the naming of the referee, Tim Donaghy, the NBA considers it appropriate to make a fuller statement. And I'd like to assure our fans that no amount of effort, time, or personnel is being spared to assist in this investigation to bring justice to an individual who has betrayed the most sacred trust in professional sports and to take the necessary steps to protect against this ever happening again. We'll have more to say at the press conference. It's going to be scheduled for next week, and quoting NBA Commissioner David Stern. And as he said, a total betrayal of trust. Now, Darren Williams in the backcourt. Little zone action? No, not yet, but Team USA is going to see zone. Battier all over Kobe. Kobe gets it anyway.
Well, that's when Kobe's most dangerous, is when you're all over him. And you know, Kobe brings an element to USA basketball where there's one guy who can get a shot against anybody in any situation. It's Kobe, red with a miss.
Yeah, he just checked into the game, stayed away from the Bosch pick. That slingshot action. Anthony goes right by Chauncey Billups, who didn't have a prayer.
Now, in past international competitions, when the USA has been attacking the basket like this, what the opponent does is go into a zone.
Right.
That is then when the USA begins to struggle at the offensive end. They got plenty of shooters. Michael Redd is one of those, and he's off on his first 2 tries.
Yeah, real strong after his short of the first one. But we saw Michael Redd go for 53, go for 57. So everybody knows in the league how much he can fill it up, but a shooter just keeps going.
We know he's got no conscience. If he's out there, he's going to let it go, and eventually he's going to start making shots.
Amari Stoudemire always had good range right there with the face-up game in the high post.
Well, he's worked on that, and his shot is getting better and better. It's looking like he knows what he's doing.
Kobe behind his back. That would have brought the house down. The U's in the eyes you could hear in the background. Chauncey Billups in the pull-up game. And a 31-year-old just rewarded by the Detroit Pistons with a new extension. Kobe, first step by Battier. Foul on the floor, wouldn't have counted anyway.
And I've always felt that in international competition, the quicker the U.S. plays, the easier the game is for them. If you slow the game down, then you allow the opponent to get in the game, make you do things that you don't want to do, perhaps show some of your flaws. And that's what happened in the last 2 competitions. J.J. Redick slips in the game.
J.J. Redick, a shooter out of Duke, and a guy that we watched yesterday in practice. He can fill it up. Kobe.
J.J. said, you know, I'm a long shot for this, making this team and playing in the tournament, but I'm here to build my resume, to get used to playing with players like this.
Kobe drilling it up. That time, Kevin Durant on the 2-hander. Kobe looked one way, Durant the other. Well, in your estimation, did the zones in international play over the last couple of years hurt the U.S. more than anything else?
Well, they did. They definitely did, because they weren't prepared to take the shot when it was there. They weren't prepared to attack it and stay on the aggressive move at the offensive end. The game slowed down. The USA team slowed down. They struggled, and particularly in Greece, whenever they got in trouble, it was because the opponent played zone.
We remind you, in FIBA competition, only 10 minutes, not 12 minutes per quarter. So a 10-minute period to start the game. Foul on his way to the basket. Couple of free throws coming up for Tayshaun Prince, but a nice no-look by Kobe.
Well, Kobe Bryant has everybody here in Las Vegas oohing and awing, not only with his offensive ability, but his ability to find people in the open court. Kevin Durant, who they tricked on the introduction, they sent him out here, and everybody waited. They let the rookie take it right on the chin right from the beginning.
Yeah, good sheepish grin at the outset from Kevin Durant. He was burned. The veterans got him. In comparison, J.J. Redick is a vet, with Kevin Durant only 1 year in college anyway out of Texas. Tayshaun Prince, L.A. kid out of Dominguez High School in Compton. Same high school as Tyson Chandler. And what a presence he has grown into for the Detroit Pistons at both ends of the floor.
Well, you know, he's just solid. His versatility makes him so valuable to the Pistons, and will do the same thing for Team USA because he can guard, he can pass, he can rebound. There's nothing that he doesn't do well on the basketball court.
Tyson Chandler fouled. He's on his way to the basket. Dwight Howard with the foul. It's always an adventure when Tyson goes to the free throw line. Last year, career best across the board with 10 points, 12 boards, couple of blocks per game. Kirk Heinrich back into the contest for Team USA blue side. And Darren Williams, I like that pull-up, that mid-range game. He just took that 12-14 footer on the run.
But Tyson Chandler's first season with the Hornets last year was a coming-out party for him. I mean, you know, in past, he'd just been a limited player who rebounded the ball. If he was inside, he would dunk the basketball. But he's trying to improve his post game. He's trying to improve his jump shot. So all of those things came together for him with the New Orleans Hornets, and they're hoping that they will continue to blossom when next season rolls around.
And while we talk about players down in the post, Amar'e Stoudemire, he wasn't available last year. Tyson Chandler here, Amar'e Stoudemire. Let's not forget about Tim Duncan and his availability once again for Beijing. Red, out of his hands, you could see wasn't going to be close. Out of bounds, his second air ball on his fourth attempt. He does have a three in the corner. And the corner is a short three. In fact, the three-point line in FIBA play, international play, 20 feet and 6.1 inches. So it's more than 3 feet shorter than the NBA. It's about 3 feet 3 inches shorter.
You know, and in Athens, the NBA players were complaining that the line was too close.
Kobe on the reverse, and he's wearing number 10. He had number 27 on yesterday, and I said to you, well, more jerseys to move.
But they have, you know, there are certain numbers that are good in international competition. So, you know, they go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 15.
Right. 24 doesn't work.
Yeah, you know, none of those numbers. If you had a different number than that, as we take a look at Kobe Bryant working down on the baseline and his uniqueness as an offensive force.
Heinrich set up by Kobe. Good look in the corner, and Michael Redd will come away with it. Combinations, chemistry, that's what they're really evaluating right now as well.
Well, it is, but I mean, when they put these teams together with different combinations from the get-go as Battier scores to see how they would work and how they would adjust. And so you see it's not by position. Kobe is normally a guard, and they have 3 guards out there then with J.J. Redick and Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich, nifty move down the middle. The shot was impacted, and that'll do it for a totally entertaining first 10 minutes of play. Did they get up and down the floor? So Jason Kidd and LeBron James sparked it early for the white side. They've got a 3-point lead over the blue side. It's close, though. It's 26-23. Around a conversation Jerry Colangelo, the managing director for USA Basketball, the senior national team, had with the squad on Thursday night when they all got together. Told the guys to check their egos at the door. And he also reminded the team that while a few in that room had won NBA titles, most have been on all-star teams, only one of them won a gold medal, Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd, he chimed in as well. Jason's 28-0 in Team USA play. He said to his teammates as soon as Jerry Colangelo mentioned that, don't mess with that 28-0 record either. I want to stay undefeated. I like Jay Kidd.
Well, I mean, he brings that kind of attitude that the original Dream Team had, where they come out and they want to beat the opponent as badly as they possibly can. And I think the concept that Colangelo has come up with allows players to check their ego because they're not out of the process. They may not play in the tournament here. They may play later on in another international competition. So it's constantly evolving, and you will see the team adjust. If they need a shooter, they can come back and get a shooter, whereas before the team was what it was.
But I was there like you were in Barcelona, and I did it on NBC Radio. The original Dream Team won by an average of 44 points a game. Here they go. Zone, and we talked about it to start the second quarter.
And we'll see how the blue team adjusts to the zone and how they pass the ball, where they move the ball, where they look to get their scoring opportunity. 6 on the clock. Got to go.
Durant, it'll be Anthony. Can he get it off in time? No.
And that is the thing
issue
that the international teams do. USA comes down, they're blitzing us with great passing, great individual efforts. Suddenly they go into a zone, they overpass, they're shooting against the clock, they get no score. Blues in the zone.
And the shot clock had not been a factor in this game until they went to a zone. Chauncey Billups burned. He had a good look, and it just wouldn't stay down. So we'll go to the blue side.
Now, sometimes when they go into a zone, players are guilty of not taking the shot when it's there. Billups did. He just didn't make the shot, but you can't pass up scoring opportunities against the zone. Ready.
And JJ off the dribble, showing great form. So the former Duke Blue Devil, JJ Redick, in his second season coming up next year. 42 games last year. Left Duke is their all-time leading scorer. It's deep 2, 1-point game. Inside of 10 on the shot clock against the zone. Tayshaun Prince, and knocked out of bounds with 5 left on the shot clock. So we can see how deliberate it has become against the zone defense.
So the zone should not change their offensive energy that much. They should have a better idea of who's out on the floor, who can get a shot from where out on the floor, and how to get that ball to that person. You know, Michael Redd is an interesting player in that he is a Gatling gun. He played 4 minutes, he got 4 shots. I'm taking him out now. But he is.
Yes.
Yes. 3. You give him 3. Yeah.
We gave him 2. Yeah. We want to look back at the video. So we are going to the truck right now. We're going to look back on that last shot for JJ Redick as the official comes over. That's one thing they can do in international basketball to make sure they
never rely on you.
So they're looking for it as we speak. We have extra monitors for our official over at the table.
You can't rely on you. You know how you are.
You gave him a 3.
I gave him a 3.
Okay, they gave him a 2 on the board. 26-25. We are going back. Well, the blue does not have a 3 yet. Over 3. Is this going to be their first? And anything better than that? Here's the other look. On the line, outside the line, foot on the line. To deuce. That's what I saw.
Oh, that's what you saw.
I waited for you, Stab. I've known this man way too long. Going back to his Spirits of St. Louis days.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
those were good days. So J.J. Redick, given the 2. 5 left on the shot clock.
Well, they did get the call right. Mike Miller.
And Mike Miller, the guy who stayed long after practice yesterday. He knocks down the 3. And that was well beyond the arc.
Well, Mike Miller told me, you know, we got our season done early, so I had a lot of time to work on my shooting. So his stroke is pretty true. Redick with a miss that time.
That was a nice flyby as it's out of bounds. Hit the bottom of the basket. With a nice close by Mike Miller just to distract J.J. Redick.
You know, last year when they were playing, the guy that was providing most of the perimeter shooting was Carmelo Anthony. And they have a lot of guys on this team this year that can make shots from the outside. Amari.
On a pogo stick, Amari lost it on his way back out. Plenty of time on the shot clock. So it was a reset. Out of bounds, last touch, it looked like. And they're going to say it was touched by Carmelo Anthony. Out of bounds on the turnover, it goes back to the white side. Now the FIBA Championships, Ryder, Thomas, and Max start August 22nd. And in Group A, or Group B rather, the USA's. There's the takeaway. Kevin Durant going the other way. Brazil, Canada, U.S. Virgin Islands, Venezuela, and the U.S. in Group B. Too long for Kevin Durant. A young man who we saw make a sensational pass. I mean, a very good look inside, known for his shooting. Tayshaun Prince. He's really increased his range over the last couple of years. So the White by 7 at 32-25. Carmelo Anthony too strong. Picked up by Chauncey Billups. And that's the way you make sure they don't settle into the zone. Mike Miller, 3rd most 3-pointers in the NBA last year. A deep 3. And he'll go to the line shooting 3. Kirk Heinrich says, I can't believe it. He got the foul. Miller's got the shots at the line.
Well, Mike Miller is shooting NBA 3-pointers. He could move in a step or 2 and still be able to get the 3-point shot away. 2 of them are very deep right there. He's got a little bit more space to get closer to the line, make the shot a little bit easier for himself. But he's definitely a perimeter threat to any team that throws up a zone against USA basketball team.
So many threes last year with Darren Williams coming back into the game, taking over for Kirk Heinrich. Kansas guy. Illinois comes back in for him. Kobe checking back into the game as Kevin Durant will sit down.
This is good exposure for Kevin Durant. I mean, to get to play against the NBA's best, and he has yet to play his first regular season game. This will tell him just how much work he is ahead of him. And, you know, he's a very humble, hard-working guy. So he's just happy to be here. He said, look, I root my teammates on. I'm just happy to be involved in the experience.
I asked PJ Carlesimo yesterday. We were at the practice. Sam Presti, they were together as the general manager of the Seattle Supersonics. Tell me something about Kevin Durant. Right away, both said, incredible kid. Wants to work. Just a great attitude.
Well, he wants
puts
to be
the extra
great.
time in.
He wants to be great, and that goes along with the work ethic. Miller misses 2 free throws. 2
out of the 3 for a pure shooter.
Nice pass.
Yeah, a little slip inside, and Dwight Howard wasn't ready for it. And that's getting used to each other. The combinations of the rotations. Kobe on a stutter step. Had it knocked away and picked up by Shane Battier. Numbers favor the white side. Miller on the run. He'll get it. He's got it. The two-hander by Mike Miller. So he shows the inside game as well as the outside game in transition.
That also proves to you don't have to be the swiftest guy to get to the other end of the floor to get that layup.
Hustle just a little. There's a zone. You can break it down. Anthony, you can do the smack from here. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. But that was good ball movement to break down the zone.
In any offensive set, the quicker you move the ball, the easier it is to score. And they were attacking Dwight Howard and Shane Battier inside. Battier comes out, Prince comes out, Kidd's in, back with LeBron James.
And back with the catalyst who put the white up on top to begin with, Jason Kidd. So now you've got 2 lead guards on the floor. Let's see how they work together. Jay Kidd and Chauncey Billups, as James, as you mentioned, comes in as well.
Oh, I can guarantee you Chauncey Billups can shift to the shooting guard very easily. Go ahead, Jay. Bring it up. I'll shoot it. You don't have to do that work.
Chauncey in his 11th year out of Colorado as Carmelo Anthony gets the first of 2. And a guy that started his career back with the Celtics in '97, on to Toronto during his rookie season, then to his hometown of Denver before going to Minnesota. And now he's finished his 5th year with the Pistons. So well-traveled early, I guess you'd say a late bloomer and an all-star.
Well, definitely a late bloomer. I mean, you throw in MVP in the finals as well. But he had to find a team that played the style that suited him, and they have found it out inside.
How about the pass by Jason Kidd once again?
Oh, now who's going to pass the ball? See, there's no problem.
They share it. It was a 9-0 run before the free throws. Still a 10-point lead. I'm talking about the white side. Stays out for Anthony. Kobe kept it alive. Did he ever get up there? James peels away with Kidd. Don't leave the shooter. Mike Miller can't make him pay, though. It's over to Kobe on the deflection. So this pace works for Team USA. Either white or blue. Half court, another story against the zone. Redick came up short.
All the shots that the shooters have been getting, Redick, Miller, those are shots that they're going to be able to make. LeBron James trying to get away, gets fouled.
On the run out by Anthony. The pass by Jason Kidd.
If you continue to move, Jason Kidd will always find you with the pass. And that's also going to make this team better. So you have a guy that's willing to pass the ball. That means you're going to get better ball movement, better player movement, easier score.
Inside to Dwight Howard again on cue, Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd now has a half dozen assists.
And Amari cannot gamble inside. He's trying to get around the bigger, stronger Dwight Howard, and Kidd is making him pay.
Kobe floating on the baseline instead of, yes, he pays off. On the bank on his way down. Almost hit the floor before he released it. Kidd wanted to go inside. First shot of the game, will it be? No. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Jason Kidd against a 2-3 matchup.
And the bad thing about that exchange was Chauncey Billups had that shot to begin with. He turned it down, then Jason turned down his shot.
Darren Williams attacks, goes to the line looking for the 3-point play. They came out. We're looking at one of the great Hall of Fame point guards in league history, Jason Kidd, but 2 guys that are headed in that direction, and Darren Williams and Chris Paul, same draft back to back.
You know, the explosion of Darren Williams a year ago, it just tells you how quickly these players can come together. And again, when you read off the ages, Chris Paul, who's not available, Darren Williams, who's available, these are all very young players that are going to be great for a number of years to come. So USA basketball should be in great shape.
Darren Williams, second in the league in assists last year. He averaged 9 a game to go along with 16 points. His shots got much better. His range has increased. Stayed out that time. 8-point lead for the Whiteside. James, what a move. Didn't get the layup. Goes to the line to shoot 2. We are about at 80% capacity at Thomas & Mack for a scrimmage. We are headed to a timeout. Well, it is going to be just an incredible ticket come August for the FIBA Americas.
What we have found is that these guys want to play, and they want to play well. They're willing to share the basketball. They're always looking for the cutter, and they have found them, and they have found the bottom of the hoop. It's
an 8-point lead for USA White, led by Carmelo Anthony and Jason Kidd. Over USA Blue, Kobe Bryant, and some other All-Stars. Well, beginning August 22nd, tune into NBA TV for complete coverage of the FIBA Americas Championships. Talked about those throughout the course of this telecast, and NBA TV is going to bring you the entire 40-game schedule. So USA Basketball competes for berth at next year's Beijing Olympics against teams from Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, just to name a few. So log on to usabasketball.com for complete info and the schedule. And as I mentioned, the USA is in Group B. Now, one team from each group automatically qualifies. You win your group, you're in the Beijing Summer Games. If you don't win your group, then all of a sudden you're qualifying once again about 8 weeks before Beijing.
Well, I have never felt that the USA team has been in jeopardy of qualifying for the Olympics. You know, this is just a necessary step when you don't win the Olympics or you don't win the World Championships.
Had they won
last year
silver in the World Championships, top 2 don't have to qualify. They don't go to the regional, which is what the FIBA Americas are right now for Team USA. With the bronze, that's why they are participating next month here at Thomas & Mack. LeBron James gets the first of 2. And LeBron James is now 5 of 9 for the field. That's his first attempt at the free throw line, and he leads all scorers with 12 points. On the boards, Chris Bosh has 7. Amari Stoudemire with 9. And Kobe comes away with that miss. Kobe carried the basketball and walked with it. He'll give it right back on the turnover.
Dwayne Wade is here. He is doing some light practicing with the team, but you know, he was part of this team a year ago, wants to be part of it again. Miller from deep.
Way beyond the NBA three-point line. Unlimited range for Mike Miller. He's developed to one of the great marksmen in the NBA. Mike Miller, another guy that's just 27 in his 8th year out of Florida. Matchup 2-3, and now deep into the shot clock. The blue side, Darren Williams. They're backed off. Real short.
Well, when he was wide open at the top, that's when he should have taken it the first time around. This is what they've got to learn about playing against the zone. When you're there and that's a shot that you can take, you got to make it, you got to take it, you got to make it.
Leaves it off, and Kevin Durant on the finger roll. So Kevin Durant on the board. He's got a couple of buckets. The slingshot of Michael Redd. You don't see that form all that often. Kobe.
No, you don't see it at all, but he's probably the most effective player in the NBA with that style of shooting. And when he gets hot, I mean, he sizzles. You know, he's kind of streaky. He's on a bad streak right now, but that can change with one make.
Little 2-3 from the blue side. Miller, same spot. Almost the same result. Last bucket was Kevin Durant at the opposite end. You were discussing what an experience is. It's blocked away. Good close by LeBron James. And he let Darren Williams think he was going to have a clear path to the basket. James leaves it off for Miller. He's always found his teammates in Cleveland.
Well, you know, and the beauty of it is you have a lot of guys that have great individual offensive skills, but have great passing skills to go with it, and that makes the game easier if you will just continue to move. Kobe D.
Kobe gets a triple.
You know, Kobe doesn't like to be behind, and they're down 7 right now, so you know at any time he's going to start trying to make some shots. Miller miss again.
Miller's a volume guy out here, isn't he? Kobe saves it on the sideline. Kobe back to back. He's got another 3. All of of a sudden, a close affair thanks to back-to-back triples for Kobe. So the Blue with their first 2 threes coming. Not from number 24.
They fall back into a zone. LeBron deep, not good.
It was out of his hands, you could see from our angle. Bosh gives him a second chance on the dive. LeBron, thread the needle, why don't you, Chris Bosh? A sensational pass.
Well, if you keep passing and cutting, the game is simple. And the white team has made it fairly simple. Durant.
Quick release. Good close that time by Mike Miller.
You know what I'm saying? If Kobe can do that, I can too.
Red creates contact, goes to the line to shoot 2. Back to Kevin Durant, though. Hit a bucket on his previous shot. We'll get to that in a moment.
Well, that's a ball movement, player movement by the white team. LeBron James to Mike Miller, and Kobe Bryant trying to rally his team very quickly from deep. Goes back-to-back with 3-point field goals, and we got a 6-point game.
It's kind of a match race offensively, isn't it? Kobe, LeBron, take your pick. Kobe's got 14. King James has 14. His side up by 6. 6-point lead for the white side against the blue in this scrimmage. Right here on NBA TV and FSN. Log on to NBA.com for the latest news on USA Basketball senior men's team as they prepare for the Tournament of the Americas. It's all on NBA.com. The experience being gained by Kevin Durant, who led the Big 12 in scoring across the board. Scoring, rebounds, block shots. A guy who won Player of the Year in college basketball. First in NC2A history to do that as a freshman. What an honor.
Well, he had a great freshman year. He had a tremendous season, won all the big awards at the end of the season, and felt, well, you know, my next step is the NBA. The one thing we know is he's got to grow into his clothes. His pants are falling off.
He is a long drink, isn't he? 6'9", 220 pounds, and boy, it's a generous 220 when you list him as that. But he wants it, and you can tell his work ethic. And going to Seattle.
But look at the scoreboard. It looked as though the white team was cruising. All of a sudden, Kobe Bryant makes a couple of threes. It is a 6-point game with Michael Redd at the line. When we watched him yesterday in practice, the most vocal players out there on the floor, Jason Kidd for his team, Kobe Bryant for his team, and they continue to drive their teams.
Redd gets 1 of 2. Both teams have to do a better job free throws, as they're both right at about 50%. And also turnovers, 17 combined, 9 for one side, 8 for the other. Got to clean that up. Behind on the pass, looking for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, I think that the coaches are all right with the turnovers because guys are trying to make good passes in good situations. Zoned by the blue.
Again, Mike Miller. I think it's a lock. He's going to be spacing and available. So Mike Miller, 14 points. Tying for team honors with LeBron James for the white side. Kobe way outside on the sideline. 51-44 as Kobe is up to 17 to lead all scores.
Now, Kobe's not going to let his team get too far behind. Redd.
That was a quick release for Michael Redd. Kept alive. Chris Bosh battered it, tried to poke it to himself. Anthony's got it. Kobe again. Quick release. Not the same result. So we're down to the final minute. Jason Kidd. The pass to LeBron James. Little scoop. Carmelo Anthony splits it. Gets down the middle. LeBron James, and they picked up the pace again. As it's behind, he wanted to go to Michael Redd, and a little bit too much of unselfish play now.
Well, it really isn't. I mean, players are open, and they just got to get used to playing with one another. But Jason Kidd, he does so many things to get guys easy shots. It looked like he was going to put that one up for himself and left it for LeBron James.
7 assists for Jason Kidd. 10 turnovers apiece. Miller, you better come out. 56-46 as Mike Miller's got 17. Carmelo Anthony shows his range. Final 15 seconds. He'll play for 1. LeBron James will slow it down as he looks at the clock. So 2 out of the starting 5 for each side. In the double figures, Kobe and Carmelo Anthony. For the blue side. down to the last 3 seconds. Make it 2.5 off the deflection by Amari Stoudemire. At 16 for LeBron James, and Mike Miller with 17. Mike Miller's damage from the outside. Kidd on the lob, and Anthony read it from the weak side. They won't get it off in time. But a game of runs as we expected in the first 20 minutes of play. So Jason Kidd once again making everybody around him look like they're playing at another level. Kobe, as usual, getting it done for the Blues side. Stay with us in Las Vegas with USA White leading by 7 at the break. The 2007 State Farm USA Basketball Challenge is brought to you by State Farm. Great service, great rates, it's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. By Sprite with Lyman, creators of the Subliminal Project at subliminal.com. And by Nike, official supplier of the USA Senior Men's Basketball Team. Team USA, the scrimmage continues. Second half about to begin. And USA White with a big bulge, a double-figure lead. It's down to 7 at the break, 56-49. Kobe missed his first couple, then he took off. In fact, leads all scores with 17 so far.
Well, I think the one thing that we've recognized about Kobe Bryant over the years is he's supremely confident in his offensive skills, so he's not going to be bothered by a few early misses. Anthony finally got into it in the second half of the first quarter to get some scores inside. But, you know, this is Kobe at his best. If you challenge him, he's going to find a way to make you pay at the offensive end. He was attacking inside and out. He was also setting the table for some of his teammates. But Kobe kept his team close enough to where they can feel like they can win this in the second half.
And 17 for Mike Miller as well to lead the White side. He got in late, but he made up for lost time. LeBron James with 16.
You know, LeBron James got most of his attacking the basket with the beneficiary of the Jason Kidd passing. Mike Miller stayed deep out on the floor and made a lot of deep shots. I still think that Miller could improve in his percentage by stepping up a little bit closer to the line. We'll find out if anyone's made that suggestion to him. But Jason Kidd, you know, who almost has been forgotten in how great he is because we've been focusing so much on Steve Nash. They'll play Team Canada. We'll see how that one rolls.
Well, we remind you to tune in to NBA TV this Wednesday. It's a 1 o'clock Eastern start. The Phoenix Mercury taking on the Minnesota Lynx. WNBA on all season long. ABC, ESPN2, and on NBA TV. Joel Myers along with Snapper Jones ready for the second half. You saw the little smile on Jason Kidd's face. And while we watched them work out yesterday, that's what we saw constantly. The sheer pleasure we saw these players, the experience about being with a guy that you don't normally get to play with. And all of them are all-stars for the most part.
Well, all of them have all-star credentials. They all are big men on campus on their respective teams, so they know what it's like to be the number 1 or 2 option. They make plays for their team, but to come together as a unit and try to build something that will be unbeatable is what this is all about. So you take the best of the best and you try to get them to work together, and I think that they're going about it the right way.
Yeah, the U.S. men gold medalist in 12 of the 15 summer games in which they have competed, and they want to get back to that level. In fact, Chauncey Billups, as Darren Williams comes out for the Blues side. Chauncey Billups played on the 2014 that had bronze and lost in the semis last summer as well in Japan, and he said he wants to take pride in the fact that he is going to bring Team USA back to that kind of prominence that they once had.
Well, we have dominated international basketball at such a large scale for so long that it's almost been taken for granted that we would get gold medals almost every tournament, and there has been some slippage in their attitude and their preparation for the game, and the world made them pay. And I think that these guys want to prove that they're still the best players in the world.
Over the top, Dwight Howard, and it was poked away. Out of bounds off Howard. So a heads-up play on the baseline by Darren Williams. And a turnover to start the second half. very quiet but efficient first half for Chris Bosh.
Now they're showing zone. White is showing zone. Let's see what the blue team does in order to score and attack against it. Amari
at the free throw line.
Well,
the second basket, same spot.
That's where you want to go with your initial pass. Get in there and then let the zone react to that player. And if he doesn't get the shot, he can make a pass to people cutting through the rim.
Blue stays man. Dwight Howard can't handle the pass. Tyson Chandler saves it. The screen and roll. Williams, the teardrop and the roll. So Team White, 13 turnovers, and that last one cost them. It's only a 3-point lead for Jason Kidd's side right now, 56-53. On the curl, LeBron James over the top to Dwight Howard. I don't think they want to get in his way.
It wasn't exactly the way that LeBron drew it up, but they did get the dunk anyway. Amari, and he's been working on that deep shot, so he's trying to find out whether he's going to be an effective three-point shooter in international play.
Mike Miller spotting up on him in the first half. Bosh underneath caught the bottom of the standard. And it'll be Dwight Howard getting the finish on the finger roll with the left hand. And if you want to keep him out of the zone, push it as often as possible. Carmelo Anthony off the lip of the rim. Good entry pass, Darren Williams. It's been a struggle to start the second half by Anthony, and he touched it last out of bounds to Team White.
Anthony has an inside-outside game, and he was short on both occasions, but he's constantly attacking. He's got great strength and quickness inside and a great first step from the outside.
To remind you, there are 32 players listed for Team USA. 17 suited up, 20 here. Others like Dwayne Wade available down the road. Dwight Howard is fouled before the shot by Carmelo Anthony. And in the FIBA Championships coming up in August, when they submit their roster snapper, they can give it to them 24 hours before the first game on the 22nd. So plenty of time to make decisions.
And, you know, they're going to adjust the roster, I think, according to what they think they need to get through the Tournament of the Americas. And we'll find out what adjustments Coach K thinks they need in order to put the best chemistry out on the floor.
Now LeBron with Kobe all over him, trying to smack it away, going to his weak side, right by Kobe with the left hand. Amari Stoudemire altered that plan. Back door, Anthony from Kobe. It's been a struggle for Carmelo. Chris Bosh at the opposite side. Did he ever get up there? 62-53. I said a quiet and efficient one as Dwight Howard thought he got ball. Amari Stoudemire instead will have 2 free throws. Bosh had 10 boards to lead everybody in the first half.
Again, it's Jason Kidd putting his vision on display and an easy opportunity for Chris Bosh. You know, Jason Kidd has yet to take a shot, but he's gotten a lot of people.
We thought that one in the middle where he flipped it off was going to be a shot. It looked like it was a scoop play. So Jason Kidd now, has he got more than 7? He's still at 7 assists with 5 boards.
8. He had 7 at halftime. He just got one. Are you taking him away?
Now the official board has him with 7. It must be talk radio around here. 10-second delay. 62-55. White on top of the blue. It almost went in off the fingertips of Dwight Howard, lost by Amari Stoudemire. And Dwight Howard's looking at Jason Kidd like, man, that was a great idea.
But, you know, Dwight Howard is not used to getting those kind of passes.
Exactly.
And, you know, so that's an adjustment for him.
Who has passed better than Jason Kidd in recent years? You go back to Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the 2-time MVP was getting all the attention about making great passes.
And he does.
Rightfully so. But, I mean, again, Jason Kidd is a unique player in his own right and should be applauded for what he does and does well. Kobe.
And it stays out after LeBron James got it to the opposite side. Bounced around Kobe. Trying to find a hand. Fresh shot clock. We're inside of 6 minutes. Carmelo Anthony. Finally the finger roll. So the reverse for Carmelo Anthony in a 7-point deficit. LeBron James glances over to Stoudemire. Spin by Darren Williams. The recognition that Kidd was coming. The 23-year-old tried to get it to Kobe. Dwight Howard altered that play. And it's going to be Tyson Chandler on the putback. Tyson Chandler, his first basket after hitting a free throw in the first half. They want to push it. You can hear him in the background. You want to get in shape. Come out to these workouts. Kobe, too strong. Jason Kidd with the uncontested glass. We discussed the zone in the first half. Bosch trying to show his range. It wasn't close. So both teams a little bit cold in this last 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
Well, they're a little bit tired as well, and so they're getting stretched out. And again, if you pass the ball, move yourself, you're going to get an easy chance to score. Mike Miller not moving his feet, fouls Kobe.
That's before the shot. When we did discuss the zone, you have Jim Boeheim on one side, Mike Krzyzewski on the other side, observing. Two college coaches their entire careers. They have a little knowledge when it comes to zones. Well, all kinds of zones.
They know how to play against the zone offensively and defensively, and it will help this team in their preparation.
5-point lead as we come back to Las Vegas. Our McDonald's enduring moment captures the time members of USA Basketball spend off the court, visiting with members of the military around the world. Well, on their way to last summer's World Championship of Basketball, the men's senior national team visited troops based in South Korea, putting on a clinic, spending time, signing autographs as a way to say thank you to the men and women serving our country around the world. And as we look at that enduring moment, courtside now at the Thomas & Mack Center, some members of the U.S. Air Force that have just returned from Iraq. And the crowd on its feet with good reason. A standing ovation. The 7 members have just returned.
Well, I think it's outstanding that everybody lets them know how much they've appreciated their efforts. And we're happy to see them all back here.
Safely. So Mike D'Antoni running one side, Nate McMillan on the opposite side. And there's the guys that have had a lot of experience in the college ranks. Jim Boeheim, 1976, running the program at Syracuse. 3 NCAA titles for Mike Krzyzewski. So when it comes to breaking down a zone, they should be ahead of the game. Well,
they will be ahead of the game. They have the players that have the talent to beat the zone. Now it's a question of getting them used to playing against it and where to attack and how to attack and take shots that will be effective and continue to build on the scoreboard. It's a 5-point game. Kobe's on the line.
And it's so rare when NBA coaches, not you want to call it a gimmick defense, but some of the NBA coaches use it out of timeouts off of maybe a made free throw where they're going to bring the ball up slowly. Well, just a curveball, a new wrinkle.
They're trying to change up things, but most NBA coaches don't like zones. They don't like them offensively or defensively, but when they find an opponent that doesn't handle it well, they'll go to a zone and try to get some advantage that way. Kobe gets the first free throw.
That was Kobe's first point of the second half. Making 2 at the stripe. Kobe's got 19. 3 in double figures now. Kobe with 19, Stoudemire with 10, and Anthony with 15 to the blue side. Kobe called to the hole. Trying to track Jason Kidd.
I know Kobe was in his stuff, man. He was, he really was. He started right down there and chased them all the way down, and he was showing that, Jason Kidd, you're going to have to work the rest of this 5-minute period. I'm going to be after you. Look at him right now. He's trying to break in, make sure he can stay between Kidd and the ball.
All these are FIBA officials. Tommy Nunez Jr., one official from the NBA. Mike Miller on a roll. Mike Miller going under to scoop it home. So Miller up to 19 with his first deuce of the second half. Tying Kobe for team honors. Kevin Durant has checked back into the game out of the timeout, as well as Kirk Heinrich. In the matchup zone, it's deep into the clock. Carmelo Anthony, the three-pointer. It's down to only 2 after it was 7 at the break, and it's given away. Kobe up against Kidd, and he tried to reverse it, blocked away. Heinrich gets it. So LeBron James trailing the play. Kobe thought he had to deal with Kidd. James stayed there. What a block by LeBron.
Somebody can pay for that. Kobe's not taking that.
It'll be LeBron beyond the arc. And across to Tyson Chandler. Heinrich doesn't have the numbers. More than 4 to play in the third. Tied at 66. Beautiful pass by Carmelo Anthony, but Jason Kidd saw it coming as he wanted Durant. What a pass by Kidd. Miller 3 for 3. And the lead again for Team White. It all starts out of the hands of Jason Kidd.
So you think they've made up their mind who might be their main distributor, huh?
What a foul. Kevin Durant timed it very well. The length of that young man. He's got some long arms. It's a 1-point lead for Team White at 69-68.
This is Kobe coming in, and he thought he had enough to stretch out and get it, but LeBron was with him all the way. Kobe had just had something to say to LeBron when he was timeout, too.
Yeah, they're taking our feed, so you can hear the U's and the Ahs with the background here at the Thomas & Mack Center because it's also up on the big screen. Inside of 4, left in the third.
Substitutions, Red's in the game, Billups is in the game.
But not exactly spacing on the transition there.
And Battier is in the game.
Bosh on the reverse dunk. Chandler got him. All Chris Bosh does is fill up the box every night. Very efficient player.
But when you talk about a guy that's deceptive, it is Bosh because he's long, he's quick, he can get in the air. That one they threw down, and D'Antoni, his team got back in the game. Now he's on these officials. That foul was way back over here. It wasn't underneath the hoop. He shouldn't be getting a three-point play.
And don't tell Mike D'Antoni that it's July. He thinks it's May and it's the NBA postseason. Chris Bosh knew out of his hands and goes right back with a two-hander.
4-point play.
The guy who shoots it knows where it's going. 73-68. Team White by 5. Kobe trying to find some space on the crossover and on his way down didn't get the roll. They liked it anyway here. Kevin Durant fouled by Battier and Kobe cuts it just to make sure. It's a shame there's no talent out there.
Well, no, what this scrimmage has given us is an idea of just how competitive they are. And D'Antoni thought that Bosh stepped on the line, but he danced around it. So this is a good field goal, but he wanted the call against Tyson Chandler before he got around that corner.
Bosh already with a double-double. He's got 10 points, 12 boards. Kevin Durant hits the first of 2. The rookie out of Texas, second player selected in the draft.
You know, this practice is not like an all-star game where the all-stars just come and it's kind of an exhibition. Nobody wants to get hurt. These guys are playing hard. They're going at one another. They all want to be a part of the USA basketball process, and they all want to play in the tournament.
They are competing for 12 spots. There's a great deal of motivation right now. At the very beginning of the telecast, we talked about the pride factor. They want to look good against their peers. 73-70. Billups thought it was going to be available. It wasn't. Got away. J.J. Redick with a nice up fake. Kevin Durant, the quick release. Sonic fans will love that for a long time to come. It's even at 73, and all of a sudden, Kevin Durant, not a factor in the first half offensively, is up to a dozen and counting. Quick release. Michael Redd had Kirk Heinrich all over him.
And I think that this is one of the things that they should always try to do against their opponents. Attack them, get up the floor quickly, try to make some plays, steal Durant.
And the length of Kevin Durant. Amari Stoudemire on the fall away. Nobody got down to account for Bosh. Stoudemire recovered. It's off his shin, though. And that saved an easy deuce. So it's tied at 73 with 2:21 to play. We talked about the quarters. They're only 10 minutes apiece. That shouldn't be a factor for a team that can get as much offense as this group.
Well, I don't think the scoring will be a problem, and I think as they get in better condition, that will work to their advantage.
Billups in the backcourt with Michael Redd. Sets it up for a good three-point shooter, but it wasn't the corner shot that Battier prefers. Durant trying to spin over, and what about the baby hook? Kevin Durant showing the repertoire, the full arsenal early. Save some, big guy. 75-73.
He's gotten his feet wet, and the second half is more what you can come to expect from Kevin Durant. Michael Redd from the corner.
Redick tried to get there. Minute 47 left in the third. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor, I believe. No, they won't give it to him. Chairs were coming from the sideline.
But the one thing that Kevin Durant can do is score from a lot of different places in a lot of different ways, and that's one of the moves that he threw at Texas opponents all last year in the college level, and showing that you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Out of Austin led the Big 12 in scoring, rebounding, block shots. The miss goes over to Dwight Howard. So the length of Howard and Bosch on the white side. Durant picking up the pace, and Redick committing the foul after Redd went to his weak side with a very fast first step. So the Blue just trying to get a lead. They've been close. They've tied it a couple of times here in the third. They trail by one, 76-75 with a minute 23 to play. They had a 4-point lead at the outset, 6-2, and then all of a sudden it was a 14-2 run for Jason Kidd and LeBron James. Phillips. And it's set up for Dwight Howard.
Well, you know, the guards know that the shot blockers like Amari Stoudemire are going to be coming. If they can make one more pass, they're going to be able to get the score. Nice play for Heinrich.
Yep, Weed goes right to the basket. Saw Dwight Howard at the last second.
But he should have taken that shot. But
Michael Redd.
You know, he may be on one of those streaks where suddenly everything he touches goes in.
Final minute. It started out slowly. It's picked up in the last 5 minutes of the third. Step back for Kurt Heinrich. He's got a long deuce to make it a 4-point affair at 81-77. Kurt Heinrich with his second basket on his sixth try to go along with 3 assists. Phillips wants Howard. They converged in a hurry. It didn't make any difference, though. Muscled it home with the left hand.
Well, you know, Howard has got tremendous strength, and if he can get the ball down in the deep post and you're on his back, he's just going to take you in anyway. And, you know, his favorite shot is the dunk, and he's put a few of those down this afternoon.
And he's always been there. As we go to the final 10 seconds, each of his first 3 seasons, Snapper, 82 games. There every step of the way. Off for a Heinrich, picked up by Redd at the buzzer. It'll count if it goes. Online, but a little bit long. Should have used the 6-iron, had a 5-iron in his hand. So we get ready for the final 10 minutes as the head coach looks on, Mike Krzyzewski. Very, very good third quarter. In a 6-point game, 83-77, and they're loving it in Las Vegas. It's a 7-point lead for Team White at the break. Still a 6-point advantage. 83-77 as we start the fourth and final 10 minutes of play. And our Nike storyline so far, well, the competition. And it has been intense at times today. We saw it. They got into it yesterday. 12 to 17 we're watching. They will be here in 1 month. It'll all start on the 22nd. You'll be able to see all 40 games on NBA TV. It is the FIBA America's Championship. Top team in Group A, Group B. They will qualify for the Summer Games in Beijing. And a guy that was on the original and the only team that should have ever been called a dream team, the 1992 team. And Snapper, you and I were both in Barcelona in 1992. They won by an average of 44 points a game. Well, it was a special group.
You know, there were a lot of things that lined up for that team to be so dominant. Combine the talent, you take their attitude, the fact that a lot of them had never been allowed to play in Olympic competition, the fact that the USA had lost in '88 in Seoul. These guys wanted to prove that there is nobody in the world that could play with them, and that's the attitude they took over there. And they said their toughest games were their practice, and we're seeing a lot of that same kind of attitude from this group out here.
Now, from 1936 to 1988, NBA players were not allowed in Olympic competition. So after what happened in Seoul, it was passed, and it had nothing to do with the NBA. It was passed that the U.S. could use NBA players. And now, with so many international players in NBA play as well, you're seeing Brazil, a couple of players like Barbosa, Nene. He's helping everybody. Carmelo Anthony, the step backs and air ball because of the good defense by Shane Battier. Michael Redd, fall away. Heinrich closed, and Stoudemire's got the board. So it's a 6-point lead. Heinrich, little OC, wanted to pass, and they're going to call the charge. So it goes the other way, and Willie.
You don't have a lot of guys that will you don't have a lot of guys that will step in and take charges in this collection. But Battier does that on a regular basis. That is part of what makes him unique to his team, is that he does all of the little things to try to make the game a little bit easier for his team and his teammates.
His honorable mention last year, All-NBA defensive squad. It was a block from behind by Heinrich. He thought he got it clean. Foul is going to be underneath on Amari Stoudemire with a little bump. A couple of free throws coming up for Chauncey Billups. Stoudemire with the foul.
But, you know, in the past, and there's always going to be some issues with the selection process, but when they were taking just collegiate players, they used to have tryouts for them, and there were great collegiate players that didn't get selected. One of them, and that's one of the reasons that Jerry Colangelo is trying to come up with this process, is you don't leave Charles Barkley off of teams. You don't leave guys like that at the collegiate level off of the team for whatever reasons. And now they had the Dream Team selection. They would take 10 pros and a couple of amateurs, a couple of collegiate players, and they found out that people were still being left off, and now they've got to come up with a way that makes it a little bit better for everybody involved in the process.
A hold. It was called off the ball on Michael Redd. And also, you don't have to submit it too early. And chiseled and granted, you don't have to say these are my 12, because go back to 1988 in Seoul, they were void of shooters once Percy Hawkins went down. They didn't have enough shooters in Seoul.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was a bronze year in '88. And now battle back for the U.S. squad. The U.S. squad, don't forget, in 2004, they had a 5-3 record in Olympic competition. The cleanup by Dwight Howard, who pinned into the window. Off the miss, Anthony tried to chase it down. The length of Tayshaun Prince got a piece of it. Dwight Howard fouled on the reach. He's okay. And he'll shoot 2 on the foul by Kevin Durant. So a little ragged, but more free throws coming up for Team White. That's the latitude now. The Team USA is displaying with 32 listed.
You see Dwight Howard closing things down in the middle. The one thing you can also do in international competition, the ball's on the rim, you can knock it off. Now, we haven't seen these guys do much of that, but they also have to adjust to having shots that go up and then they're wiped away and they're not considered goaltending.
Well, to the FIBA Americas Championship a month away. Once they're exposed to that more often, they'll get used to it in a hurry. So Dwight Howard in his 4th year for the Orlando Magic. Just signing a long-term extension with the Magic. 3rd-team All-NBA last year. Won't be long before he's 2nd and 1st-team NBA. He's 7 of 7 from the field. 3 of 3 at the free throw line as Darren Williams lost the handle. Pressure on the hip from Chauncey Billups. It has spurted out to a 9-point lead for Team White. Could change in a hurry. And Kobe comes back out there and a couple of others.
Watch out.
It was off the rim otherwise. Dwight Howard was there and ready. Anthony on the run out by Battier. Strong move to the hole. Free throw coming up for Carmelo Anthony. It hasn't worked outside. He goes inside.
Well, Anthony is aggressive and very strong. It is difficult to deal with him from the perimeter with that quick first step. Battier runs out. He goes right by, takes the contact, and will have a chance for a 3-point play.
The foul on Tayshaun Prince is his first.
You know, and really the resuscitation of Carmelo Anthony's career, as you know, he had gotten himself kind of upside down about who he wanted to be, how he wanted to play. It started with the Jerry Colangelo going to him and talking to him and saying, look, everything that's gone down in your career in the past, we're past that. We'd like you to be a part of this process, and Carmelo has embraced it, and he's played extremely well.
And it's helped him mature as an individual more rapidly, possibly, than he would have had he just stayed out of the international competition playing for Team USA. 23-year-old from Baltimore. Just out for Darren Williams. With 7:50 left. It's been that way for the blue side to start the final 10 minutes of regulation. 9-point lead for White. Anthony had it popped away. The sneaky length for Tayshaun Prince. Well, he's always one of the guys that you think about the all-defensive squad. setting up Dwight Howard before the shot.
You know, as good as Amari Stoudemire is, where he has his trouble is when he's playing against a bigger, stronger, quicker guy. And when he allows himself to get pinned inside, he's going to end up getting foul troubles. Threw it away, Phillips.
They're not in the same weight division.
Amari looks thinner right now than he has at any point in his NBA career. He's in tremendous shape.
There's about a 30-pound difference between the two.
Well, just the shoulders alone.
Darren Williams trying to lose Prince.
Howard has massive shoulders.
Mismatch. Phillips takes it away from Stoudemire, setting up Red on the reverse. 7 to play. White trying to peel away. 90-79 over Team Blue. And Carmelo Anthony with a great communication from Darren Williams. Kobe's going to be checking back at the game on the next whistle. Tayshaun Prince. Close from Stoudemire helped out. And Anthony clears it out. So manageable deficit for Darren Williams and his side. Ton of time left. Gave up the dribble. And he got burned by Battier. 3-on-1 the other way. Red wasn't ready.
Oh, he was ready.
Not exactly a textbook play.
He was ready. He was going to get that one up. And in.
A lot of spacing on that break. A little more than 6 left. 92-81. So Michael Red up to 14 on 5 of 13. Amari Stoudemire. You saw it coming when he took the first step. Opposite end, Dwight Howard. And I think they need a break after that with an exclamation point. So Dwight Howard is yet to miss. His range has been about there. He's 8 of 8 from the field.
His range has been above the basket, and that's all he's had to do is catch it and throw it down. But they've kept a lot of pressure on the Blue defense, and Michael Red has been a guy that has found a variety of ways to score the basketball. Amari Stoudemire and Anthony collect on a couple of dunks.
Dwight Howard leading the way for Team White, at least when LeBron James and Jason Kidd haven't been on the floor. And it's an 11-point lead on Chevrolet Game Track. That is the biggest lead of the game so far for Team White. The scoring, there's plenty of offensive firepower out there. Anthony Miller with a 22 so far. Kobe's got 19. Darren Williams up to 10 assists. Jason Kidd, but officially, is Jason Kidd stuck on 7 still? You tried to give him an 8.
He has 8.
And we'll put it at 8.
You know, one thing that the big guys are trying to do is take advantage of that ball movement, player movement, and then they're soaring in. And Amari Stoudemire gets 2 just as the period was just about to close. Dwight Howard returns the favor.
So Amari Stoudemire in double figures with a dozen on the pick and roll game. Williams up against Prince. The mid-range game, Carmelo Anthony. Battier could impact the play. So catch up time in a hurry. Kobe back out there. And can they get it done offensively? Phillips on the follow-away. Tyson Chandler's length as he backs it out to Kobe. Second thoughts for Phillips. He thought about passing. It was too late, though.
Well, it's a 9-point game with Kobe out on the floor. You're never out of a game down 9. He thought he got fouled on that play, but got no whistle.
And on the deflection, Michael Red says, look at I found. It will go out to Darren Williams. Trailer is Kevin Durant. And it's blocked away by Battier. Stays with him. Kevin Durant. He's been in double figures and up to 15 now. Down to 7 at 94-87. Who's going to run out of gas first?
Well, you know, they're not quite as energized as they were 30 minutes ago. So both teams are starting to show some effect of the game. But, you know, now we'll find out who wants to win the game. We'll find out whether competitive spirit goes up another notch. You know, Kobe doesn't like to lose. The young fella, Kevin Durant, is showing his mettle by coming out there and scoring some points when they're down. And Anthony has stayed hot, stayed close, kept them in the game. 96-89, 4:35 left in this game.
That last one was Dwight Howard way above the cylinder again. Michael Red can give him a 3. 99-89.
What you can't give Michael Redd is a sliver of daylight, because he can get it up in a hurry. Just when you think you got him covered, he's letting that shot go. Anthony.
On the line, an air ball. It would have been a 2. 4:09 left. Jason Kidd. LeBron James checking back in for Shane Battier.
Wholesale substitution.
Yes, Redd will sit down. And Chauncey Billups.
Dwight Howard stays on along with Tayshaun Prince.
Well, 22 shots for Carmelo Anthony. He's hit 50% of them. 18 for Kobe Bryant. Kobe matching up with LeBron. Follow-away 3. Mike Miller keeps it alive. Good run on the baseline. How about the touch of Jason Kidd? Yeah. It'll be Tyson Chandler. Can he hang on? He's got it.
Well, this is a ball that the players are not used to playing with, and it seems to be pretty lively, and they're mishandling it off the dribble.
And because of it, they stayed after practice and in little groups all around the gym at the Cox Pavilion. The 3 from Kevin Durant. 99-92. Is there a run left from Team Blue?
7-point game, 3:19 to go. Yeah, there's a run left in them. It's just, are you going to get the ball to the guys that are scoring the ball? Durant and Anthony are the guys that are making shots for Team Blue.
Durant showing his athleticism. There's no depth on the baseline. He got behind the defense. 5-point affair. 22 for Kevin Durant.
5 straight for Kevin Durant. So Durant is doing it inside and out. And what you like is ball movement, player movement. Durant on the move, gets this one, and just extends over LeBron James. Timeout.
Yeah, we'll get a timeout. Well, his coach is here, P.J. Carlesimo. His general manager here, Sam Presti. They're enjoying every second of this. Along with Jeff Green, a couple of others. Future looks bright for Durant and the Seattle Supersonics. 3:05 left in regulation in a 5-point game. Just a couple of minutes ago, Team Blue down by 11. Well, they've trimmed it to 5 thanks to the play of Kevin Durant. He has picked it up offensively. He's been a spark over the final 3-4 minutes here in the fourth. The young man, Maryland native, out of Texas. Our Sprite play of the game brings us back to the combination that's clicked all contests, Jason Kidd and LeBron James.
And it really highlights the court awareness of Jason Kidd to make the steal at the defensive end, to set up LeBron James, who's over the top with an emphatic dunk. But Kidd was reading Amari Stoudemire's eyes all the way on that play and the finish. So they had great chemistry and eye contact in that first half. They have set out most of the fourth quarter, and we'll see if they get re-energized. Kidd, James, Miller, Tayshaun Prince, and Dwight Howard are the team in white that's leading.
In 20 minutes of play, Jason Kidd has yet to take a shot.
No need to.
He has made everybody else look good, though.
Well, and you've got a lot of offensive players out here, so, I mean, he recognizes that someone has to facilitate. He's been more than willing to do that.
Team White goes to the zone, out of the timeout. Kobe shooting over the zone. Too strong. Tyson Chandler gives him a second chance.
Well, that's what Tyson Chandler did all year long. Anthony, with the strength, gets fouled inside.
It wasn't going to be an easy one with Dwight Howard there. Carmelo Anthony going to the free throw line to shoot 2, trying to make it a 3-point deficit. Out of the 2006 championships, Japan led the U.S. in scoring, 20 a game, shooting 50%, hit 44% on his threes. A lot of people forget it was one game. They went 8-1 last year.
Well, you know,
it was the one game against Greece where they lost by a half dozen.
You always have this combination of pool play, medal play, and once you get into the medal round, that's where it hurts you the most. So if you're going to lose a game and continue to advance and go on and win a gold medal, you can lose in the pool, but you can't lose once you get to the medal round. Miller.
Mike Miller. The long Prince is there as it was popped away from behind. Darren Williams says it was all ball. They'll give him the foul. So 7-0 run right now for the blue side.
But this is a scrimmage, and we're seeing how competitive the scrimmage is, and you're seeing guys want to win this game. Dwight Howard gets a breather. Chris Bosh back in the game.
Well, there are 3 officials on the floor, and they're wearing different color jerseys. One's got white on, one's got blue on, and they've been after it since the beginning. 2.5 left. What a move by Bosch. What a spin. The flip by Chris Bosch makes it a 5-point lead. What an athlete at that size. Kobe looked one way, went the other to Carmelo Anthony. Slapped away by LeBron. Now the crease for Williams. And he couldn't believe it either. Tyson Chandler on the follow.
Well, Tyson Chandler kept that ball alive twice, and they were able to get a finish on it. The game stays a 3-point game, 101-98.
His length has made a difference. Mike Miller leaving Durant right off the heel to Darren Williams. So the opening's there for Team Blue. Inside of 2 to play. The 3-point deficit. Is it all even? Yes! Kobe with the triple. It is even at 101. What a shot. I'm on overtime. These fans don't want to go home, do they? Nice. Tied up by Williams. And then he hit the standard underneath. Quick hands of Darren Williams to get it on top of the ball.
Now, the fans have had a tremendous treat, and this is one of them right here. Bosch laid out and is coming across his body, was able to squeeze that one in.
Watch out. Blue looking for their first lead since the opening minutes. Kobe slipped down. Wanted contact, didn't get a whistle. Bosch behind, and it's going to be a foul on Darren Williams. He had the right idea, though, in midair. It was Jason Kidd on the opposite side.
Well, on that transition where Kobe was leading the way, the Blues got too close together, and Kobe didn't have anywhere to work, and even when he was falling down, he had no one to pass to. So they got a quick pass up to Bosch, and they had to foul.
Couple of free throws for Chris Bosch, getting ready for his 5th year for the Toronto Raptors. Last year, career best across the board, averaging 23 and 11 a game.
Well, and also he got his first appearance in the playoffs, and I'm sure that they will come back with a different approach to the regular season, thinking that they'll be back in the playoffs again and try to have a longer run.
But what a draft he was a part of, though. That'll live for a while. Won it, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosch. He was a 4th overall selection. Dwayne Wade right behind him at 5.
Well, there's some bets out there that say that this year's draft was deeper and better and may surpass that one. Kobe against LeBron.
1-point lead after the Bosch free throw.
He's shooting it.
Kobe on the front away.
He's shooting it.
Does it. So Kobe gives him a lead, their first lead since the opening 2.5 minutes. 103-102. Bosch losing the handle. Can he retrieve? Yes. Now the final minute. You think they want this a little bit? It's off Anthony. James gave it away. Kobe, the trailer's Williams, and it's kicked away. It'll go out to Kobe. Almost taken away. Durant now on the floater. Anthony didn't bring it down. He was off balance.
LeBron James is wide open.
And it'll be Jason Kidd's first basket of the game, his first attempt to give the White the lead by 1. Boy, they're on their feet. They living large in Las Vegas. Kobe calls a timeout. They have come to their feet in a scrimmage with 21 seconds to play.
Well, you know, they don't get to see the NBA players play at this competitive edge very often. They did get the All-Star game here, but these guys are playing a competitive effort, and they want to win. Both teams want to win the game, and you knew that Kobe was going to have an impact on how the outcome of this game was going to go down. He tied it up with that 3-pointer, and this 2-point field goal gave him a 1-point advantage.
Well, Kobe was going to call a timeout, but they called a foul on Jason Kidd.
But only the coaches can call timeout.
Now, Mike D'Antoni comes up to the half-court line. Jason Kidd still discussing it in disbelief. So he tried to smack the ball away, got a piece of Kobe. And we're going to keep it right here. Very entertaining matchup. So Kobe, along with the surprise in the second half, sitting right next to him, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant had a big second half, along with Carmelo Anthony. I mean, I think Anthony was a steady force that just kept them in range. Then Durant got into it. Kobe came in about the 5-minute mark and got him the go-ahead bucket. And Jason Kidd has taken one shot in this game. Now, this is the play right here where they think they're getting a timeout, and Jason Kidd keeps slapping at the ball, and the next thing you know, the official has called a foul.
Yeah, if he doesn't call the foul, he can call a walk on Kobe.
But, you know, this is part of adjusting to international officiating. they call the game differently. Things that NBA players would normally take for granted, they don't take for granted. So there's constant adjustments to what is going on the officiating side.
And get ready when it's on the rim, which the topic we discussed earlier, it's alive.
It's alive and they can knock it off. Now, the international teams, they make that play a lot. USA has to get used to it, and as defenders, they have to take advantage of the fact that they can take a shot away rather than let it go in. If it's bouncing around up there, it's a free game.
It's not going to be easy for Mike Krzyzewski, as we've seen this afternoon. The 17 participating get down to 12 4 weeks from now.
Well, I think it shouldn't be easy, but I think that these guys are showing the one thing that makes the USA dominant is that their best players want to play at a very high level. They're very competitive. They want to represent the country, so everybody's giving it their best.
Yeah, who's the second option? We know who the first option is. Who's the second option?
Well, I mean, if you're saying first option, second option, I'll give you the third. You can go all the way from Kobe to Anthony to Kevin Durant. So the crowd is on their feet, and the white team has a 1-point advantage.
And Kobe has an advantage because the crowd base here. Lakers play every preseason in Las Vegas. They like them a little bit.
You keep annexing. I don't know that Las Vegas has moved any closer.
They have not seceded from Los Angeles. It'll be brought in by Williams and almost lost by Stoudemire.
Kobe's got the ball. Tayshaun Prince got the job.
They flatten out and spread it out. Shading over Kidd and James. Kobe over Prince for the lead. Got it! 1-point lead, Team Blue. You knew it was coming. Could you stop it?
Now, when we were at practice yesterday, there was a sense and energy from all the players out there. They knew who the best player on the planet was. He was doing all of the talking, and now you come to close the game. What's your first option, Joel? What's your only option, Joel? And what's the result? Kobe Bryant with the lead.
Well, he's usually the first, second, and third option for the team he plays for.
Well, you're an LA guy. Is he going to play for that team?
He's there. He looks good in a Team USA uniform.
Well, no, he does. He's not gotten to play for Team USA. He missed the 2000. Didn't get to play then. Not to play in Greece. So this is really his first opportunity, and he's excited about it. And he's excited about playing with these guys that have been selected in this group.
Plenty of time. 6 seconds left for Team White to throw a haymaker their way.
Well, you know what he's telling Kevin Durant. This is what you see on TV. This is what you used to see. Now you're seeing it live. So just recognize it, all right?
It goes back to what an experience for this young man. On the team, scored 22. Just being alongside this level of talent is going to elevate his game.
He's a talent in his own right, and he's understanding that as he comes into this league, there's another step for him to go to, but he's well on his way. White team has the ball. Now they've got to decide where they want to get a score. They don't have the same kind of one-on-one players out on the floor, so they're going to have to pass it and move it a little bit more. LeBron James is a guy that can make his own way, but whatever they do, they want to make sure that they get set, get quickly, and if they miss a shot, get a chance to put it back in.
So bringing it on the sideline with 6 seconds left. Mike Miller's an option beyond LeBron.
Well,
he has had a hot hand.
I think you want to get the ball back to Jason Kidd and let him make a play for LeBron James or Mike Miller or Chris Bosh. I mean, they have a lot of places that they can go, but the first is getting the ball into Jason Kidd and making the right read.
Darren Williams blankets Jason Kidd.
And Kobe Bryant is defending LeBron James. They go to LeBron.
So LeBron James trying to win it for Team White up against Kobe. On the crossover into the paint over Chandler. No. It won't go. Tyson Chandler came into the picture.
That was a tremendous thing.
It was exceptional. It was highly competitive, what the coaches wanted to see.
I mean, you had Kobe Bryant doing his thing at the end. LeBron James trying to match him at the end. It didn't get quite the shot that he wanted. He got the angle, but Kobe was able to come back in, and he had to shoot that one a little bit quicker. than he wanted to, as you see the long arm of Tyson Chandler trying to affect the shot. But again, the competitive nature of all of these players came out at some point during the game, and Mike Krzyzewski has to be extremely happy with what he has seen this afternoon.
Yeah, very healthy situation now for Team USA and head coach Mike Krzyzewski. They're going to see a lot of zone, a lot of gimmick defenses. They better get ready for that. And teams that are going to try to slow them down. We'll talk about that when we come back. We'll wrap things up in just a moment from Las Vegas. So Kobe wins it by 1 for Team Blue, 105-104. The 2007 State Farm USA Basketball Challenge is brought to you by McDonald's. Open midnight or later. Many open 24 hours. And by State Farm. Great service, great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. The most talkative in practice yesterday, one Kobe Bean Bryant. He was chirpy. In fact, guys were at the free throw line, opposite end of the floor. He was all over him. He was getting into him. He backed it up today, Snapper.
No, he did. When it came to winning time, he was the guy that was going to make the difference, made the three-point field goal that tied the game, made the two-point field goal that gave him a one-point advantage, then came back after Kidd countered and made the game winner and had some solid defense against LeBron James. So all of those things came into play, and Bryant was the star of stars on a very good, positive effort for Team USA.
I knew it would be good. I didn't know it would be that much fun.
Well, I mean, I thought from practice, and we saw the competitive edge of Kidd and Bryant, that we were going to get a good show this afternoon, and we did, and Kobe is the player of the game.
Enjoyed it, Steve. For Snapper Jones, our producer Steve Elkin, our director Travis Henderson, and the rest of our crew here in Las Vegas, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks for joining us at the Thomas & Mack Center. It was an incredible display for Team USA for down-the-road purposes. So many guys contributing, the big guys like Bach. Also, Dwight Howard, Jason Kidd, looking like the Hall of Famer he is. And then the guy who came through in the clutch, as we've seen so often. The leading scorer in the league the last couple of years, Kobe Bryant won it for Team Blue, 105-104. Thanks for joining us and watching the State Farm USA Basketball Challenge. So long, everybody.